In 2009, a 38-year-old man was sitting inside of a manga cafe in Seoul, South Korea. A manga cafe is a lot like a normal cafe. They have these big in-store libraries that contain manga, and manga are like comic books. This man did not have a lot of money. He didn't buy any drinks or food. He just went up to the in-store library, grabbed an edition of his favorite manga series, and just sat down and began to read. This man had read this particular series multiple times. He just kept coming back to it because he thought it was the best manga you could possibly read. A lot of people didn't know what to make of this particular series because it was so over-the-top violent, well beyond any other series. But to this man, that sort of made it stand out. Every time he read it, it allowed him to sort of leave his life for a second and just totally escape into this wild, violent story. And right now, in this man's life, he really needed that escape. He had spent practically his whole life studying and working to try to become a professional writer and director. This man had successfully landed a couple of jobs here and there, but they were small gigs. He found himself back in the same position he always was in, unemployed. Recently, the man had to sell his laptop just so that they wouldn't get evicted. And if that wasn't bad enough, the man had also begun taking out all these short-term loans with high interest rates just to pay for basic needs, but he had no way to pay them back. So the debt was just piling up nonstop. He took his favorite manga booth, he sat back and just allowed himself to get sucked into the story. As he was reading this manga book, he suddenly has this epiphany. What if I write a story that's inspired by this manga series? So before long, he had put the manga book aside, got a pen and some paper, and just began writing down some ideas for this new story he was going to try to write. And by the time the cafe was closing, he had this amazing outline, and he just knew this was the thing that was going to break him out of poverty and officially make him a successful writer. Several months later, this man had transformed that amazing outline into a fully realized project, and then he went out to try to sell it. Every buyer he went to hated it. They told him, this is simply too weird and way too violent. And the man was sort of crushed because to him it was so clear this story is so good. People that have experienced real poverty, who understand the lengths that people will go to make money when they are desperate, they'll relate to this. But then, sort of out of left field, 10 years later, a major production studio actually said, you know what? This looks pretty good. We will buy it. This man's story was converted into a TV show, and it premiered in 2021. And when this TV show aired, it became the most talked about show anywhere in every corner of the internet. It also made the production company that bought this story $900 million. And the man who actually wrote this story, he also got paid very well, and he won an Emmy. The manga series that this man read was called Battle Royale, and in this series, these students are forced to fight to the death by a fascist government. He combined that concept with poverty. The writer's name was Hwang Dong-hyuk, and the name of this TV series was Squid Game.